single parent, exhausted parent of 3 kids. My first 2 kids are adopted out of the foster care system, and my child number 3 is like a standard private adoption situation. So it actually technically started like when I was like a sophomore in college. I was home for like a long weekend and hanging out with my best friend, and she was in school to become a social worker and just telling me about her foster care classes, and she was like, I think I could foster, in the future, like I'd like to do that. And I was like, I feel like I could do that, like I love other people's kids all the time. I babysit a lot, I nanny, so I was like, that sounds about right. And I was talking to a friend on the phone, I was like, is this life? Like, is this like adulting? You go to work and like come home, cook dinner, obsessively clean your house. I was like, I will get really comfortable here. And then like I'm afraid I'm not gonna need the Lord, aside from the grace of him giving me my very breath. But otherwise I was like, I'm like kind of good with life, and like that feels problematic, and I don't know how to not become an extremely selfish human being. I think it probably came about in a few ways, but like after I thought about it even more, I was like, I had this like journal with questions every day, and one of the questions was like, when was the Lord asked you to do something hard? And I was like, he's been good, like I don't really have to do hard things or like step out of your comfort zone or something. So yes, like literally that evening I like Googled, Cape Girardeau foster care classes. So I signed up for the winter class in January, did the classes. I was officially licensed for like maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3. Whenever I got a call at 10 p.m. on a Friday night, hey, we have a 3-year-old little girl, it's an emergency situation, who needs a home, do you have space? And I was like, heck yes. And that started the trajectory of what is now my forever daughter. A month after I took her into my home, they were like, hey, bio mom is pregnant. Fun fact, she's giving birth to a baby pretty soon. Do you want him? And I was like, why not? What do you do with just 1 kid? Might as well have 2. If you have been tugged in any sort of way, whether that's foster care adoption, whether that's getting involved, whatever it is, like just either start asking questions, ask somebody who's in it, and say like, hey, I think I might sort of considering getting involved in this way, and see where it goes. If you're in the spot where you're like, no, definitely the Lord's not calling me to have kids in my home, like you can still support, you can provide a meal for people. There are other ways to get involved without like opening your house 24/7 to screaming children.
Kayla, thank you for helping lead our church. We appreciate you. Yeah, thank you.